Hi everyone of Team Forbidden. It is I, Eric the Cyborg, coming to a brand new deck profile for post Rage of Brawl. Obviously, the set just came out a day or two ago, so me has got a case. I pretty much got everything we needed except for a few cards.
One ancient chant.
Yeah, that. But since I'm always the one getting the less wanted cards, such as the Meklords, I got it all together. So yay! So let's get to it. So start with the new cards. Obviously, 3 of Nucleus Core. So on summon, he searches for any Meklord spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, he cannot be destroyed by battle. Only once. I mean, that effect is not really relevant. And if he's destroyed by maybe it has to be a card effect. Yeah, by card effects, you can summon one Meklord Emperor monster from your deck. So it helps to bring out all your Emperors out a lot faster. Then 3 of Obligado. You could basically call him Rescue Cat for this deck. Destroy itself to summon 2 Meklord army monsters from your deck in defense mode. And he has a graveyard effect to where during the end phase your opponent takes 100 points of damage for each Meklord monster that you control. You're mostly never going to be really using that effect unless you want to like stall for time and then just burn your opponent for 100 damage per time you win. Joking. And then onto the original armies. 2 Granule, 2 Skeel, and 2 Weaselton. I'm gonna go over for what they do pretty easily. Weasel just makes it like a once per turn. It gives the Meklord piercing damage. I don't know why it's once per turn effect. I don't really know. Skeel, if it's destroy a battle, you summon a Meklord army monster from your deck. Basically, kind of like how Masked Dragon or like any of those other monsters work. And then Granule is a normal summon. Target one monster that your opponent controls, and its stats are halved. And they have another effect to where they gain 100 attack for each other Meklord that you have on the field, so they don't really count for themselves, which I guess makes them fair. Not really.
No, it doesn't.
Now onto the big guys, the Emperors. 2 Weasel and 1 Granule. You don't run Skeel. Skeel's the absolute fucking worst Emperor. He's garbage. So Weasel, or for the Emperors in general, they cannot be normal summoned or set. They must first be summoned from your hand when a monster you control is destroyed by card effects. Weasel is a once per turn spell negate. If he is on your field, only Weasel can do battle at all, and regular Meklord's effect, they see a secret monster, they just take it. And then Granule's the same thing, summon from hand. His attack points is based on your life points, but half of it. So you just bring it out first turn. You just bring him out as a 4K level 1 monster, and then same synchro stealing effect of basic Meklords. Onto one of the other new ones. 2 Weasel Synchro Absorption. I don't know why they did this with, okay? So what he does, he's, I don't know what you would classify him as.
Stardust Dragon is a Meklord card. That's literally what he is.
Pretty much. You would tribute one Meklord monster on your field, and this effect can only be activated during your opponent's turn, unfortunately. So you tribute your Meklord, send to the graveyard, summon this from the hand, and on summon, this card targets a monster on your opponent's field, and that monster cannot attack that turn. And then use basically Stardust Dragon for any Meklord monster that I control will be destroyed by a battle card effect. I can just send him to the graveyard instead. The only issue is that he doesn't come back like Stardust does. So that's a real bum. Now for the new boss monster. 2 of Meklord Astro Dragon Triskelion. That is a mouthful. This is the only Meklord Astro you run. You don't run Mechanical or Asterisk, because those 2 are also garbage. Also, they're not that... I mean, they're easier... I mean, they're not really that hard to summon, because Mechanical just needs you to send 3 Meklords, and the other one needs you to have 3 Meklords, but this is just far easier. So for this one, in order to summon it, you have to banish 3 Meklord monsters with different names from your graveyard, which obviously isn't really that bad for this deck. The only issue is that you don't have a way to fully recur them back when they're banished. So if you ever summon him, you have to go for the game. What he also does is absolutely freaking busted.
It's bullshit. It's grade A bullshit, I tell you. Any card that lets you pick up your opponent's extra deck and you can pick any card from it should never be legal.
That's what he does. So, when...
This is how the deck beat Raw, by the way.
Yeah. So, when this boy attacks, I get to look at my opponent's extra deck and take a monster from it and pretty much equip it onto him, and he'll gain that monster's attack points. And
he's relinquished as a monster.
Pretty much.
He's relinquished Meklord.
But just takes straight.
Just steals a strip from the extra when he attacks. Oh.
And for a synchro monster, he just attacks 3 times if he has a synchro on him. So that is the Meklords. Obviously, pure Meklords can't really work out that well. If you guys want to see a pure version, like a pure control version, let's get this video to like 50 likes would be a good goal for it. So 50 likes for a pure control Meklord version. So I'm gonna show you what I'm playing for this one. Obviously, you gotta go bullshit with the Numeron package. Triple Numeron wall. Don't really have to explain much of this. Send it to your graveyard from hands to activate Numeron networks straight from your deck. Simple as that.
Zexcalibur!
And then, obviously, the last one is going to be the 3 Ash Blossoms for negating the searches. This is the monsters. There's a lot of monsters, unfortunately. I'm trying to work on how to condense everything down. Lots of spells. 3 Fire Formation Meklord. Pretty much, this is basically tanky for Meklords. Activations, search a Meklord monster. And then, once per turn, you can discard a card from your hand, target 1 monster that you control, and destroy it. And if it was a Meklord monster, you get to target one face-up spell or trap card on the field and destroy it. So you basically use this to get rid of any problematic card that you don't want to have on your field, like a sphere mode,
Yep.
and then you just go off from there.
By the way, we're not fucking joking. This deck beat Raw 3 matches in a row. I only have 2 wins out of 8.
And then the only Meklord field spell now I'm running is Fortismo, the Mobile Fortress. This should be a Meklord card, but it's not a Meklord card for some goddamn reason. Anyway, this is a once per turn summon a Meklord army monster from your hand. That's it. And the only reason why I'm running this is because I'm running set rotation in this deck just to give my opponent just to bring this shit out. Don't need to explain this shit. Let's go on. Same thing for this shit. Don't need to explain it. Let's go on. And then for the large one-ofs, Call by the Grave. A great one-of to have. Terraforming, obviously, you're getting your fucking field spell. 1 for 1. What? Side rotation for the whole thing with giving yourself network and giving your opponent Fortismo. Onto the traps. 2 of the new Meklord Astro, the Eradicator. So this card is absolutely freaking good. You target 3 Meklord monsters with different names in your graveyard, and you have 1 of 2 choices. You either add them to your hand, or you can switch summon them to your side of the field in defense mode, ignoring summoning conditions. And then...
I had a cramp.
Oh shit.
I need you to pull my fingers.
Oh, can't hear you.
Sorry.
Well, editing.
What? Oh, okay. Thank you.
They said I called AT&T and they were like, you can use a generic Ethernet cable for now, but they're actually sending us a brand new router with all of the cables. So they said if you can get it to work right now, that's the soonest we can
Okay.
Yeah.
But our internet will work with the generic one, right?
They said
Yeah.
If. If's not good in this
I mean,
case.
I said is your Ethernet cable different from one that I would buy this one? So I assume hopefully it's going to work unless they have somehow wired some sort of, I don't know.
He probably has to say that because he can't guarantee like any other brand besides the cables that they
Yeah.
provide.
Right.
It's like you using a Microsoft product for Apple. You know, like it'll work sometimes.
You're slowly pushing.
Alright.
So we'll start over with the traps.
Yeah, start over with the traps. Sorry.
Well, you're fine. And then for our traps, running 2 of the brand new one, Meklord Astro, the Eradicator. So this one is another good card that Meklord's got. What this does is that you target 3 Meklord monsters in your graveyard that have different names, because if you were able to just bring out 3 same ones, it'd be, I guess, broken. And then you have 2 choices from that. You can either add it to your hand, or you just bring them out to the field in defense mode. And yeah, that part has no real downside or anything. Just brings them out. And then you can banish this card from your graveyard. If you control a Meklord Astro monster, banish this from your graveyard, target 1 secret monster that your opponent controls, destroy it, and if you do, deal damage to your opponent based on that monster's attack points. So it's a nice little burn damage if you're facing against a synchro deck, which right now in the meta game is pretty much the only good ones is Noble Knight. So, ooh. And then the last one is obviously going to be the Freedom Prominences, because Little Hand Trap is good. Extra deck. Link 1, Link 3 though, for the either the Meklord Emperors, or just use the core for it. They're all level 1, so why the hell not? Platinum Gadget, they're all machines, why the hell not? Barricade board. I'm gonna switch him out eventually for a 2-4 Genius, because I think that's just entirely a better Link 2 for this thing to go into. But for right now, I'm just running the battery board blocker. And of course you're running Numeron, so you have to run the giant metal crunch. And that was Manny possibly breaking shit.
They just moved in here. Don't break their shit. Come on, man.
Yeah, Eric, jeez.
Damn it, Jake Chris.
Friggin' John. Can we Digimon over there?
XE's 1 GB and X. No one had this card apparently. So I had to buy the freaking Gear structure that just to get this one card.
And I argued with him that if it was even in there or not, and it was.
So 1 Gear and X. And then 1 boat for your rank 4s. Only machine monsters because the new Meklord level 4 locks you into machine monsters when you use his effect. And then to go with the boat, you run the Magnus to just slap on top of it after the battle phase. And then obviously you're running the Numeron stuff, so you gotta run the Zexal, 2 of 1, 2 of 2, 2 of 3, and 1 of 4. Self-explanatory on that stuff. Anyway, that is my current build for Meklord Numeron. Make sure like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, if you guys want a pure Meklord style build with more like control style build with it, which basically would be pure Meklords anyway. Let's get this video to 50 likes, and then I will get working on that right away. And of course, with the whole poll that Mr. Andrew did a few days ago, apparently you guys want to see Gokis, so I'll get working on that right away as well. Anyway, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, and we'll see y'all next time.